Okay, I am here today since I'm doing this build off with James. I figured it would be good time to go ahead and do a how-to video on rusting. I will tell you there is no wrong method to doing this. Anybody can weather a vehicle. It shouldn't matter how you do it. It should still have close to the same outcome. My method's a little different than his is. Both of them are very effective. But I learned mine off of watching a bunch of Dr. Cranky videos, which if you get a chance, get on YouTube, look him up, Damn Cranky 666. He's awesome. Probably one of the best detail guys I've ever seen as far as weathering and junk goes. So here's what I have, and I will go ahead and show you. I went ahead and done a lot of the texturing and the holes on the cab last night because I figured most of you know how to run a Dremel tool. So if you don't, then you might want to hit me up and I'll do another video showing you how to do that on a junk body I've got. But the cab's already prepped, primered, ready to start rusting. Okay, so here is the cab. As you can see, it's done got all the holes in it, the dimples. Everything's already done. It's ready to be rusted. And then I've got what you will need to do the different colors of rust is I've got a flat rust, a flat brown, light brown, and then I've also got a tan. And now you can use any brush that you want to use to do this. I've got two of the same here that I like using, about the same size. The only difference is the way the ends are cut. They work very effectively. Also, in this method, you'll need a spray bottle. I got mine at the Dollar Tree. It's like $1. It ain't no big deal. Full of water. And a bowl full of salt. Okay, so let's get down to business, shall we? You'll take your cab, which is just like this. Start with your flat rust first.
The guy that knocks the cow on the side of the head, so I don't struggle with a slit his throat.
Because the thing about rust a lot of people don't realize is that the darker color, the thinner it is. So at the bottom of your vehicle, usually where you have all your holes and the textures, you'll want to run that dark rust color on that. So I just come in and I just start brushing it on. Go around all the rust holes. So just pretty much dab it on. It don't have to be perfect. And I'll show you why. But this is a very, like I said, very effective method. I really enjoy doing this. I done a 65 that I took to N&L with me the same way. And it really got a lot of views from people that have always been curious about doing it this way. In fact, Dr. Cranky was even there, and he said that's probably one of the best rust jobs that he has seen in a long time because of the fact that it just looked real. But as you can see, that's it. I'm just dabbing it on, dabbing it around the holes. Ain't got to be perfect. So, you can start to see the colors. And it's flat, so it will dry flat. It's not going to be glossy. It's not going to be shiny and pretty. But you just take and dab it around the holes. It makes for a very, very effective rust looking method. Like I said, that's really the only difference between mine and his is he likes to use a lot of acrylic and pastels. Like you would buy, the watercolor paints, and I use enamels. I don't know why, I just do. For For some reason, I like the way the enamels lay out and fade in a lot better because of the simple fact that I can thin them out with this brush to where they're effortlessly lineless. And see, you just put it in, and
you just about strangled me to death.
you know, see what I'm doing, and just brushing it on, brushing the rust on. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, the whole deal with this is you, instead of making it shiny and pretty with candies and flakes, you want to make it as ugly as possible with rusted holes. So there's that. Then I've got one spot on the roof to do. You can see I've got dimples on the roof. You see, I just brush it on. I mean, it ain't got to be pretty. It ain't got to be perfect. It's just got to be there. I mean, that's it. It's just got to be there. Okay, now there's that. That's the first color, the first coat. Since your brush is thinned out, or since that's done, you have to let that dry. And then I will come in with another video. Okay, I'm back now. After some minor technical difficulties, I went ahead and done the light brown and the tan fading. Like I said, with rust, the darker color is probably where it's ate up the most, and then it gets lighter as it goes into the body or into the paint. The fade of it does. I went ahead and finished up the colors, and I also went ahead and covered it with a coat or two of really good Tester's Dull Coat. I love that stuff. I swear by it whenever it comes to rust. That is the best stuff ever. So, needless to say, here's the cab. As you can see, it looks like a big paintbrush mess, but that's fine. That's what you want. You don't want it pretty. You don't want it fancy. As you can tell, everything's faded. There is no definite lines because, like I said, this isn't a panel paint job. This isn't nothing like that. This is just an average, you know, rust looking paint job. I'm nowhere near done. This is about 20 minutes into it, and that's what I've got so far. So let's continue. The next step will be salting it, and this is a very easy way to do. I really enjoy doing it this way. I enjoy this method a lot. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright, as you see here, there you go. Maybe you can see me now. I've got my cab. I take my spray bottle and I just lightly mist it with water. And what this does is it allows for the salt to stick to the cab. And I'll show you why that is important here in just a second. Then I'll take my bowl of salt here, showed you earlier, and I just start sprinkling it on. You know, drop it where you want rust really heavy. Don't be scared to put your fingers in it. It won't hurt. It don't bite. But it's just the overall good method. I learned this, like I said, from watching some of Dr. Cranky's videos. And he is a genius whenever it comes to doing this type of work. I thoroughly suggest, if you think my method's a little bit different, you know, go watch his, because I didn't use all of his method. I just happened to take what I needed and make my own method using some of the same techniques. I added a lot that he didn't, and he has a lot in his that I don't in mine. But as you can see, I'm just dumping the salt on. No indefinite design, just pretty much just dump it on there and it's ready to go. You know, every once in a while, reach back and dump some off and dump it back on, you know, whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. Again, like I said, this is a rust paint job. This is not a, you know, $300 or $400 candy paint job you do, you know, with your airbrush gun and take you a week to do. No, this ain't like that. You know, this is something completely different. You know, go around and rust up all the holes, or put the salt on all the holes. You know, make sure everything's covered really good. Now after this step, the salt will have to dry. The average drying time is 24 to 48 hours. I do not do that because the simple fact I am impatient and I do not want to wait that long. Not gonna lie to you, that's just the way it is. I usually will set it in front of a heater or a hair dryer or something for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let the salt start getting good and white, and then it's usually ready to spray over because it's done, you know, it's done absorbed all the water out of it. Whenever the salt starts getting white, all the water is absorbed. But as you can see, I mean, I just go around and put it on there. I mean, it's not meant to look pretty. It's not meant to be immaculate in any way. It's meant to look like hammered dog shit. Pardon my language, but that's just the honest truth. It's not meant to be anything out of the ordinary, you know. Dump in certain spots. You know, there'll be some places you'll have more rust than others, just like a real car. There's some places, you know, just like when you go look at an old Impala or an old truck sitting out in the field, some of them will have rusted all to hell and back rockers. Some of them only have one rocker missing, rusted, whatever. But there's no two areas that look exactly the same. You know, and if you don't like it, it's simple. You can take it, you can, you know, you can take it, you can water, you know, spray some more water on it, brush it off, whatever, and start over. It's nothing you're bound by. But as you can see, I've got the basic layout of where my salt is going to stay laid on it. Just a couple little spots here, and I'll be ready to go let it dry, and then I'll come in with the next video and show you, you know, a little bit more about it. I might go ahead and skip the next step and go ahead and paint it, and then I'll show you the paint removal process, which is even easier than this because all it involves is rinsing it with water. A lot of people will brush them off. I don't like doing that because I'm afraid it takes too much of the paint off, and I would rather just take it and rinse it with water and let the salt pull the paint itself off and keep, you know, what's there. But as you can see, I've got a salted weathered cab. After it dries, it will leave a white residue, and when you paint it and the salt comes off, it will leave that same white residue there, so it looks really amazing. But that's it for this video, and I will come back in next video with it painted. Like I said, it's a very easy method. Anybody can do it. In fact, I feel like my 5-year-olds in their playing could do it if they really wanted to. So any of y'all that say you can't, you don't know till you try. Alright, bye. Alright, I'm back again. This is the last video. I've done got the cab painted. As you can see, Kelly green. And I've done started removing a little bit of the salt. Very simple, easy process. And since I'm just getting tired and lazy, I'll go ahead and rake the salt off with my finger. It's still better than using a brush because a brush will take the paint off. And with it being enamel, everybody knows it stays tacky for days. So here we go. just rake it off with your fingers, and you can start to watch it. See how it starts to come off where you had the salt. And see, it's starting to look like it's rusty. And that's the look you want. And you can see it's starting to look like it's rusty. Like I said, it's a very simple, easy process. It's not real hard at all. I would suggest when you get to the harder stuff, like you can see right here, I've got some that doesn't want to come off. I would suggest rinsing that in water, because water will take it off. But overall, this is a very, very easy process. When you get done, along the bottom edge, you'll notice you'll have some paint. You can go back and touch that up with the dark rust color, and then throw you a good thick coat of dull coat on it, and you are set and ready to go. And it will turn heads at any show you take it to. But that's pretty much it. The whole rusting technique has been shown. It's very, very effective. Like I said, it's something that, you know, I swear by doing this technique, because it's just so awesome, and the outcome of it is amazing. I mean, it's thoroughly amazing. But guys, that's my rust how-to. And thank y'all very much, and I will be posting pictures up of the mock-up after I get all this salt off, and you can see the finished product of the mock-up then. Until then, just have a good time with it, and don't be scared to get your hands wet. Thank you. Bye.